I did something bad.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's regular meeting of the Independence City Commission. If I could have your attention, please, we'll now all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, you've had a chance to see the agenda. Are there any amendments or adjustments to this evening's agenda?
I have none.
I move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Presentations. Sean, are you ready to make a presentation this evening?
I've got one person running a little late. Would it be possible for you to go ahead and go to the consent agenda and then come back to me? Is that possible?
Sure.
Sean, if you'll just let me know, we'll do it when everyone has arrived.
Okay, all right, I'll give you the thumbs up.
The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept it as presented?
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Items for commission action. Let's go ahead and do consider proclaiming April 29th, 2022 as Arbor Day. Who's speaking to this evening?
Mayor, I am. This was presented to us and asked that we would, you guys approve this proclamation for Arbor Day, and I believe they would like for you to read it, if you would, please.
I'd be happy to do that, should it pass. Any questions, gentlemen?
Nope.
I have none.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we move to sign the Arbor Day proclamation for April 29th, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic viability of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal, now therefore I, Dean A. Hayes, Mayor of the City of Independence, Kansas, do hereby proclaim April 29th, 2022 as Arbor Day in the City of Independence, Kansas, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 10th day of March 2022, signed Mayor Dean A. Hayes. We look forward to seeing everyone out and about on April 29th, Arbor Day in Independence, Kansas.
Planting a tree.
How are we doing, Sean? Not yet. Moving on, then, we'll go to item B, consider setting the date of May 26, 2022 at 5:30 PM for a public hearing to consider condemnation of 317 South Second as dangerous and unsafe. Who's speaking to this?
Mayor, this is a condemnation that we had started and we missed a date, so we're just starting the process back over and asking to set the date for a public hearing on May 26, 2022. The family has indicated they are trying to get the resources together to rehab the house and fix it, and we continue to work with them, so hopefully by the May date, we have an answer whether they'll be able to get the necessary funds to repair the house.
David, it looks like this fire that damaged the home was confined to the attic space. Is that correct?
Yeah, the attic has most of the damage with some of, as a fireman, we're putting it out, pulling the ceilings down. So it has a
Some
lot
water
of
damage.
structural rafters up there that just need to be replaced or repaired.
I was curious when I saw this item, do we have a picture of the outside of the house?
Outside really looks fairly good, other than I think we put a hole on the north side to get into the attic. And maybe, did we do a hole in the roof, Sean? If I remember right. But
Okay.
it's fixable.
Okay.
Their issue is they just don't have a lot of access to funds. So they're hoping with their tax returns and others, they can get enough money to put it together to make the repairs.
Okay.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
I have none.
I have none.
Do I have a motion?
I would move that the date of May 26, 2022 at 5:30 PM be set as the time for public hearing to consider the condemnation of 317 South Second as a dangerous and unsafe structure.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll continue on then to consider authorizing Trans Systems to prepare and submit a KDOT cost share program grant application for, sorry, did I skip
Yeah,
item C?
C.
Sorry about that. Consider approval of change order with Bryant and Bryant for the Main Street from 8th to 10th project. David?
Mayor, this project, in order to assist the businesses, allow for pedestrian traffic and ADA access to a few of those businesses, we have been working with Bryant and Bryant to leave some sidewalks, but it requires snow fencing so people do not get into the construction zone. And also at Main and 10th Street, the proper signage per KDOT so cars do not make left turns when they come out of scooters. So that is what these change orders are, is to do all that proper marking and access. And I also put on there, with the help of the chamber, Tabitha at Main Street, and city staff, we made signs to help direct people to the businesses that are impacted with this shutdown. John's crews put those signs up, so I just wanted you guys to see it, and you probably have seen them downtown, an example, directing people how to get to those businesses. And another aspect of this is we're putting up a couple reserve spots in some places, so those businesses, patrons have a place where they can park and go to the business and come back out without having to be several blocks away. So that's kind of all a part of this, what we're requesting you guys to do tonight.
I do want to point out that I had a visitor from Topeka today in a meeting this morning, and they specifically pointed out these directional signage that we've put up as very helpful in them navigating the construction in downtown. So thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate Tabitha, Lisa, Joanne, and all those came together to help problem solve this. I mean, and to help keep our businesses functioning and through this, because it's a difficult time for the next 4 months for them.
Well, I just wanted to confirm it's working.
Yeah, thank you.
Questions, gentlemen?
I think it's great.
I'm good.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we move to allow the mayor to sign a change order for Bryan and Bryan in the amount of $6,487.
Sorry, is this value correct?
It's the value on the screen.
I would-
Commissioner.
Oh, that should be 8,000?
64761.
8647.
I'm sorry, just noticed that.
Okay. So let me back up here. Okay, I move to allow the mayor to sign a change order for Bryant and Bryant in the amount of $8,647.61 and allow city staff to install additional temporary signage and parking for the businesses during construction.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, David. Consider authorizing trans system. We're good to go? We're going to take a break from the request for commission action to hear the presentation of life-saving award.
Good evening, Commission. If I could have Paul Terry, Deanna Standrich, Tristan Rigner, and Chris Furr come forward. So I'm happy for them to be here tonight to hand out life-saving commendations. On February 8th, 2022, approximately 07:27 hours, Independence Fire and EMS were dispatched to a residence for report of a female not breathing. Upon arrival, the husband was administering CPR with over-the-phone assistance from IPD dispatch. We took over CPR and initiated advanced life support, which resulted in the saving of her life, and she is at home now, doing well. So, Commissioners, if I could have you come forward.
Absolutely. Shall we take this picture of this way here? Slide together here, shoulder to shoulder, if you will. Gentlemen, find the window or.
Louis, you step just Hero on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hero.
I just want to add a sincere thank you to all of the people that we've honored this evening. It's for this very reason that you put in all the hours of training and skill development, and when you can find this opportunity to save a life, it really makes it all worthwhile. Thank you so very much for all the hard work you put in to prepare for emergency situations. The family of the victim is absolutely certain that you're worth every penny. Thank you. Let's go on then. Consider authorizing Trans Systems to prepare and submit a KDOT cost share program grant application for Sycamore 10th to 21st Street.
Good evening.
Good evening, John.
This is a cost share project which the KDOT would typically match 15% of the construction costs. Engineering and inspection would be on the city. And Sycamore, this is the third time we've applied for Sycamore to be done. And typically, we've been told that the more times you put the same project up, the more likely you are to be awarded that cost share grant. So this is the same project that we have already applied for twice. So this will be the third application.
What percentage did you say that the KDOT would match for this, John?
They match 85% of construction costs.
Okay.
I think I said 75%, but it's 85%.
I'm just looking at the numbers as presented to us, and it does look like the city's match is only 15% of the project cost.
Yes.
Has anything been added or detracted from this since the last time we applied?
The only changes to this project have been escalation for changed construction costs.
Thank you. Any questions for John, gentlemen?
I have none.
I hope the third time is the charm. That street
Right.
I do
definitely
too.
needs repaired, so keep my fingers crossed.
I move to authorize Trans Systems to prepare an application to KDOT cost share program for the project on Sycamore from 10th to 21st Street, and to submit the application to KDOT.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you, John. Consider authorizing change order number 1 with J. Graham Construction on the Enterprise Drive project.
This particular change order refers to the water line that currently was built parallel to where the railroad crosses at that area and heads over to Labette Health. That was to provide Labette Health a redundancy of water supply. And so we would be taking the existing 8-inch line and cutting it where it crosses the property that Precision has purchased, because they are actually cutting so much of the ground out that they would be, our line would be 5 feet above the future ground level line. So rather than replace that line, we did have the line being looped with the Enterprise Drive project. So what we'll do is we'll upsize the remainder of the line that will go from FedEx, the new FedEx building, down south to where it already does, by drawings, would intersect with this 8-inch line. And so it would feed with even greater volumes, that line. So for $18,000, we actually will get a little bit more of a feed to the Labette area, and we will also abandon that section of line.
What questions do you have of John on this project, gentlemen?
I have none.
I have none. Your explanation was good. Thank you, John.
I have none either. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we move to authorize change order number 1 with J. Graham Construction in the amount of $18,700 and the execution of any required documentation.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Consider temporarily waiving the application process and fee for right-of-way access on Main between 8th and 10th only during the construction process. Who's speaking to this evening?
Mayor, I've been working with Tabitha and this group down in the construction area. And as you know, our Patio 210 hosts food trucks on a fairly regular basis. We'd still like to continue to do that, but again, we're dealing with construction and everything else. If I say this wrong, Tabitha, you can correct me, but Robert Box has agreed to provide the electrical hookup for a truck to come over there on the west side of his business in the right-of-way. And due to just all the construction, the difficulty getting there, staff would like asking the commission if we could just waive that downtown right-of-way permit application until this construction is over for that area to allow this to go on.
What is that?
It's a process before.
I mean, I know what it is. What is the cost?
It's just a 25 permit processing fee for us to do it.
$25.
$25.
And that's just our time of reviewing it, make sure it is. If we have to have the street department take barricades, just the administrative time of getting all those things set up.
Is this recommended? I assume staff recommends we do this.
Yeah, we feel it's, due to the difficulty right now and just trying to keep some activity for those businesses down there,
It's great.
we just feel it's worth waiving this for this time during the construction.
The cross-traffic is basically cut off at that particular point during the construction process.
Yes.
So there wouldn't really be any through traffic there.
No, they're gonna have to come in from the south, correct? Yes.
Fine.
They're gonna park over in Walgreens or something.
It seems
there.
like a reasonable accommodation for the inconvenience that we're creating by virtue of the construction.
For the
So,
inconvenience we're creating.
Huh?
For the inconvenience we're creating.
yes, the inconvenience. Did I say convenient?
Yeah, I thought you did.
The inconvenience we're creating.
I move that the city waive the application process of right-of-way access on Main Street between 8th and 10th during the construction.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Consider extending the City Hall bid date to March 15th, 2022. Who's speaking to this?
Mayor, McCown Gordon contacted us and asked if we could ask the commission to extend to March 15th, 2022. The reasoning behind this is the trade partners have a lot of great questions, a lot of questions that are having to go back to Trainer, and they're trying to really drill down and provide the best price without being able to get clarification on this. The construction crews have to put an estimate to some of the work. So Cal Gordon thought this would help give a better bid, potentially lower some cost by giving the construction and trade partners more time to ask questions about the bid documents and for Trainer to respond. They are still planning on receiving on the 15th. They will be speaking to city staff on the 18th. We will have those documents to you on the 22nd, which will still be a day and a half before you guys have to make a decision on the 24th.
Any questions, gentlemen?
I have none.
I have no questions. I certainly favor anything that has the potential of lowering costs.
Yes.
As do I.
Absolutely.
I move to extend the City Hall bid date to March 15th at 11 a.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Reports. Gentlemen, have you had a chance to review the reports as presented, and are there any questions?
Yes, I have, and I have no questions.
I also have no questions.
Thank you. Sorry, did you have something for us this evening? I see you.
If you had a question on the report, I was here to answer it.
I see. The Economic Development Advisory Board report?
Yes.
Okay. City manager comments.
Mayor, the only thing I have to ask the commission or talk to the commission about tonight is we're going to be, this code enforcement building department is meeting with the city attorney tomorrow. We've finished up our downtown inspections, and we're at that point where we have some buildings that we were unable to access or refused access, and we will be working with the attorney on the proper access to those buildings. We will give one more courtesy letter to the owners asking for access, but otherwise, we will do a, what's it called, Administrative search warrant. This is strictly for the purpose of checking for fire protection or potential hazards. We're not there any other reason, but I wanted you aware because you guys may hear.
How many people have refused?
I think it's like 15 buildings. Probably talking 5 or 6 refusals.
Okay.
So that will be happening. Probably try to send a letter out next week. If we don't hear anything back, within the following week or two, we will get with Jeff and finish it up. But we're going to visit with Jeff tomorrow and just go through the process and make sure we're all prepared to move forward. That's all I have, Mayor.
Well, thank you. I appreciate how careful you're being with this process, and I celebrate its progress. I think that once we get to the end of it, we'll be able to begin to talk about what the next steps are. That's good. Thank you, David. Commissioner comments. Commissioners, do either of you have comments this evening?
I have none.
I'm good.
And I have none. David, do we have any public concerns this evening? I make a motion that we adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for being here this evening.